Don't be easily to freak out about it. Pick your battles. It's crazy to stay up arguing half the night. Now I'm going to digress. I'm going to let my wife
There
say.
were so many times
I got to hold my hands for this one.
that we have argued about things half the night, tired, arguing and arguing. Ain't get nothing done, but you're just sleepy, got bags on your ass because you're tired.
And you got work in the
And
morning.
you got work in the morning. It's ridiculous. And then the whole point is that you go right back where you was before. So the thing, if you learn how to argue, now let me just say, there's healthy arguing and there's not healthy arguing. So between myself and my husband, we argue. However, we come to some type of resolve. Because if you don't come to some type of resolve, then also we also have mentors in our life that we can't solve it. We go to either our therapist or our spiritual mother and father, and we'll talk about it. Or we'll go to someone that, because there is sometimes that we may come to a
and not to interrupt my wife, but if you are in any level of coaching, you still have a coach.
Yes, I don't get that.
Don't get it twisted.
Because
don't get it twisted.
Once you come and be with us and you're trained how to also train others, you'll see that a lot of times that we'll come together with the leaders. And that's a good segue into this, because we are going to be training leaders to now have facilities, not facilities, but hold workshops in their own community in training other couples how to stay motivated in their marriage, how to stay committed in their marriage, how to stay, that was the word. What's another word I could say? Stay dedicated in their marriage, because it's just not one day you're off. You don't have an off day. I'll just say that. You don't have a day off in your marriage. You don't have I need a breather day.
There's no hall passes.
Yeah, there's none of that. There is, you have to love waking up with them, every single day. I don't get tired of seeing my husband's face. And I don't think you get tired of seeing him.
Oh, no. I see the best part of the moon every time I can. You gotta have fun with it.
I love you. So in this thing, we don't really freak out that much anymore. I don't know. I think it comes with time and wisdom and age. In this thing for so long that that the bigger picture is that you're in it together, and we don't compete with each other. I think a lot of times we were competing with each other.
Alpha versus alpha.
And you're going to get to the same destination, and you guys are fighting over the steering wheel. Sometimes just sit down.
You end up crashing.
Yeah, sit down and take the steering wheel. You sit down and take the steering wheel, because you can't drive together. Well, yeah, there's only one steering wheel at a time. Hello. So the thing is that if you come to different destination, and you set your GPS to go on a certain destination, you can pull over to the side of the road and let the other one drive, but you can't drive at the same time. I never knew there were two steering wheels in a car,
unless someone was in training. I remember that. I remember when I learned how to drive, the instructor had his.
Well, I didn't have to do that because I passed on my first time.
Anyway, see, we're not going to deal with that point over 20 some odd years ago. But no, but all jokes aside, but when Cheryl gave a great example, that I remember, I don't know if they do it these days, but I remember when the driving instructor had that extra, just in case if you freaked out, he was able to take control. But see, in that state, that's not really a relationship. What that is that you're going through training. You're a novice. You're going to a situation where you're growing and aspiring to get to another level. So by doing that, you are experiencing something that's going to bring you to another step, regardless of the situations at hand. And as Cheryl said, the time that we wasted freaking out on each other, that wisdom has kicked in now to this day to let us know that, there's certain situations you don't necessarily have to do. You just don't have to go to that point. You don't have to waste that energy. You don't have to vibrate in that particular space just to go to where you think is going on. So by doing so, now you're taking that energy back. You're not wasting any time. You're not taking frivolous amounts of things that you could be utilizing to do something higher for yourself, instead of just wasting it on a temporal situation that has nothing to do with nothing in the grand scheme and the long-term situation of your relationship. So just be mindful. Keep your ability, and as Cheryl stated earlier, keep that ability to argue properly, argue fairly, disagree, because you're not going to agree on everything, but disagree with the point knowing that it's like, look, you have your viewpoint, I have my viewpoint. Let's figure out how we can get into the sum total of this thing. And on top of that, remember, you're bringing in 100, I'm bringing in 100. But within the gumbo that we're mixing, if you're bringing in 100, you're bringing in 100, you think 100 is there. No, no, no. There are times that you're going to get 60% of what you want, and that your partner's going to get 40. There are times you may get 30.
And I want to say something. This 50-50 rule, it's not about a 50-50. You bring 100% all the time. Because 50-50 means, where's the other 50 at? If I'm bringing 50 to the table and he's bringing 50 to the table,
who's holding
where's
back?
Your other 50 going? You have to be 100%. 100%. And then when you bring 100%, then you start to discuss where your 100% is going to be. Okay, so 50% will be here with the children, or here with you today and stuff like that. And then 20% will be me at school, and then you got to make sure that these things are discussed, because that's when you start getting in trouble, because then you start to bring there's no discussion of where your time is being spent, and then you start to get into arguments, and this is where you start freaking out because you guys didn't have a discussion. So with that being said, we're about to close for this evening, right? And we just want to give you the opportunity to, if you would like to join with us in the Couple Motivators, and also if you are in entrepreneurship currently with your spouse, and we have some great opportunities for you down the road to join with us. And we're going to be having some things that you can now have your business take it to the next level for your family, and for your family and your children's children to reap the harvest of. So click the Couples Motivators, and soon you're going to be having a link on the Couple Motivators in order for you to join with us. And another website that we have for you, all under Couple Motivators, in that regard, that you're going to be able to own your own business. You're going to be able to join in with us, and also coaching other couples. So thank you so much for your time. We thank you so much for joining us this evening. We love you, and we can't wait to see you next week, Greg?
And that's very true. And we thank you for taking the opportunity to spend some time with us here. We honor the fact that you could have been any place else, regardless if you're looking at us live right now, or specifically, make sure you go subscribe at our YouTube channel, The Couple Motivators, youtube.com. Everyone is on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com, type in The Couple Motivators. You find our channel. Remember, we have a channel. Find our channel and like it and subscribe so you can be in the loop with us. So until next time, till next week, when we will complete the 20 things that we've learned in marriage that you need to know, things 16 through 20. We will see you next week, and we hope nothing but prosperity, and we wish for you to breathe life every day.
Thank you. God bless.